Okay, guys, let's get started. So I welcome you all to this Microsoft Intune training session. So in this session, we are going to discuss about historical background of Intune and what all things you can manage from Intune. Then we will be discussing about Intune competitors, then Intune licensing cost, plus Intune architecture and the duration of this training and how the training will be conducted, what all things is going to be covered in the training and all. So it's going to be kind of demo session wherein you will get overview, before you start, before we start the training from tomorrow onwards. So the actual training is going to get started from tomorrow, right? So in today's session, we will be discussing the overview of this Intune. So it is not going to be um, a lengthy session. We will try to finish it off as quickly as possible. Now, so Microsoft Intune. It's a Microsoft product, as you all know, right? Now, this product is released in the market in the year 2010. 2010, this product is released in the market from Microsoft. So it has been um, almost 15 years now since this product is there in the market. Now this product was doing okay from 2010 to 2019. It was doing okay, you know, uh, it was not um, as good as uh, the current situation. So after 2019, right, what happened due to COVID-19. So till 2025 now, right? So it is moving like a monster now. It's moving like a monster because most of the organizations have already implemented Intune in their organization or they are migrating towards Intune. Why? There are various reasons which I will talk about later. So people are either migrating or they have been migrated to Intune. Why? Because Intune can manage devices, MDM, mobile device management, and Intune can manage applications, mobile application management. So basically Intune does what? Two things, mobile device management and mobile application management. So what all things it can manage? It can manage Android operating system. It can manage iOS operating system. It can manage iPad. It can manage MacBooks. It can manage Linux. And the most important management is the Windows. It can manage Windows 10 and Windows 11. Now, most of the mobile devices which were, most of the tool which were there in the market, like Tanium or Mobile Iron or BlackBerry or Zen Mobile or, um, there are various competitors of Intune. They are focusing only on Android and iOS devices, but Intune is focusing on like a comprehensive management. It can manage almost all leading operating systems, Android, iOS, iPad, Mac, Linux, Windows 10, Windows 11. Plus it can manage mobile applications. Okay, that's the reason people are moving towards Intune, right? And the best part is it can manage devices. Okay, everything is gonna be happen on internet. You don't need any LAN connection. So we don't need any more LAN connection. So what happened after COVID-19? People started working from home. So people, uh, when they started working from home, the devices went from the The devices were not on the LAN network. It went out of the LAN network and it went to the internet, right? The devices were connected to the home internet or a hotel internet, right? So we had so many challenges to manage devices over the internet. So people who were working in SCCM, right? They know about it. What happened during COVID? We were facing a lot of challenges to patch the devices, to deploy applications to the devices, to make the devices compliant. So that's the reason what happened. People started coming to Intune. So Intune is moving like a monster now because it has almost all the features which other mobile device management tool can do. Plus, it can manage devices Windows 10 and Windows 11, same as SCCM. So people who were using SCCM, they are also moving towards Intune because it can manage almost similar thing what SCCM can do. So that's the benefit of using Intune. Now, um, Intune has various competitors like Zen Mobile from Citrix. Then we have Workspace ONE from VMware or Broadcom, right? Then we have Mobile Iron, right? Then we have uh, Goods, BlackBerry. Then we have Tanium. These are some of the competitors of Intune, right? Intune competitors. But Intune is now a giant in front of these competitors. Intune is a big player now because the way Intune is implemented, it is almost in all big size and medium size organizations. Wherever you go, you will find Intune. Either you are in India or outside India, right? In US, Canada, Australia, European countries, Gulf countries, you will see in almost all big size and medium size company, Intune is already implemented or they are planning to move towards Intune. And that's the reason you have good vacancies, right? You have good vacancies because the way it is being implemented in almost everywhere, that's the reason you have good vacancies. You have good salary, right? People are paying good salary to Intune administrators. So I have my uh, students who are getting somewhere around $80 per hour USD, $80 per hour. Uh, sorry, $80 per hour, and this is USD, right? But the actual average salary is around $50 per hour USD. If you are in India, then you can expect a salary of 8 lakh per annum, average salary. Okay, per year, 8 lakh. That's average salary. It can go up more than 8 lakh or it can go less than 8 lakh, but 8 lakh is the average salary, guys. Then it's a matured product. It's there in the market for 15 years now, right? It's a matured product. Then next point is resource availability. Resource availability. Resource availability means if you are stuck somewhere, right? And you would like to get solution. For example, there are some issues, some challenges you are facing in Intune. You can just Google it out. You will get hundreds of websites which will help you to give you some guidance. It's not a new product. Okay, so you have various resources online which wherein the step-by-step documentations are given. You can um, download them, or in case if you are facing some challenges, some error, you can get some guidance from there. So resources are available. Then easy to learn. Easy to learn. You don't need to learn complex programming languages, or like Python, or mm, SQL code, or some you know programming languages are not needed. So basically it is all GUI based, and it is easy to learn. Unlike SCCM, SCCM is little more complex. Not little, it's far more complex, this uh, Intune, because in SCCM you will have to configure everything yourself. Like you need to put the server, like primary site server, then database, then domain controller. You have to decide the architecture and everything. In Intune, everything is designed by Microsoft. So all done by Microsoft. All architecture, basically all architecture things are done by Microsoft. Architecture. You don't have to do it yourself. You just have to take your subscription, and that's it. You are good to go. It's a SaaS kind of product, software as a service. It's a SaaS product. Okay, just like Gmail. You take Gmail subscription and you are good to go, right? Similarly, Intune, you take Intune subscription and you are good to go. Then no programming languages to learn. No programming language. You don't need to learn any programming languages to master this technology. Good future. So you have good future. Um, in case if you are planning to make your career in Intune, so you can basically go to Intune level 1, level 2, level 3, and then Intune Architect, right? Something like that. The good future, because the way Microsoft is adding features every month, they are releasing Intune features. Um, so they are enhancing this one. So you can see there are various things which are added in Intune, and some of the features are far better than SCCM. So some of the things which are there in Intune is not there in SCCM. So most of the things you can easily do it from Intune rather than SCCM. Okay, so you have less vacancies for SCCM. You have less you know job requirement, plus salary wise, SCCM is also down. Um, since Intune is moving like a monster now after COVID-19. Now, from SCCM, what will you do with it, with SCCM? SCCM is not going to go anywhere. SCCM will also be there in the market. Microsoft is not deprecating this product or removing this product from the market. You will still use SCCM. For which product? You can manage Windows Server, basically. Windows Server, because Intune cannot manage. Intune cannot manage Windows Server. SCCM can manage Windows Server, right? SCCM can manage Windows 10 and Windows 11. Intune can also do that. Okay, but after some time, I think what is the Microsoft plan is, when everybody is on Intune, then they are going to remove this feature from SCCM. They will delete, I mean, they will remove this feature. You will no longer be able to manage Windows 10 or Windows 11 devices from SCCM. Okay, it will be managed by Intune only. That is the Microsoft plan for future. Okay. Now, so we have discussed about the historical background of Intune, why Intune is good in the market, why you should learn Intune. Now, the next thing is Intune Architecture. Now, Intune architecture is on Azure Cloud Data Center. Azure Cloud Data Center. It's all done by Microsoft. So suppose this is your data center. Okay, in data center, you have multiple floors, right? In multiple floors, for example, first floor, second floor, third floor, and fourth floor. So for example, this in multiple floor, you will have multiple racks. As you see, these are the racks. In multiple floors, you will have multiple rooms. Inside multiple rooms, you will have racks. These are the racks. So in these rack, you will have high configured servers. So for example, these are the racks. Okay. Okay. So if you have one rack, you call it as rack. If you have more than one racks, so for example, hundreds of racks or thousands of racks, then you call it as cluster. Okay. Service fabric cluster. Basically, it is called as service fabric cluster. Okay. When you have more than hundreds of racks. So Intune is basically configured on Azure Service Fabric cluster. So in the Azure data center, suppose in US you have a data center, in Europe you have a data center, right? Multiple data centers are there in US and Europe and Asia, in um, Australia. More than like 60 countries you have Azure data center. So depends on your location. Suppose if you are in India, right? Suppose you are in India. So your account will get created in India data center. Suppose this is India data center. So your Intune account will get created in India data center. If you are in US, your Intune account will get created in US data center. Okay, this is how Intune architecture is created. Now, if you would like to see the actual Intune architecture, then you can take a look on this website. This is done by Microsoft. This is basically Intune architecture. So we will discuss about this later on in details. The only thing is you have to learn is you get web console. When you create your subscription, you get what? Web console. So through this web console, you can connect to Intune using Graph API. In the backend, you have Graph API is the connector between you and Intune services in the backend. So Graph API is a communication bridge between you and Intune services. And then it is going to configure devices, protect data, manage apps, right? There are various things which are integrated, like Microsoft Entra ID is integrated. Then SCCM is integrated using co-management. Then you have various things like Apple App Store, Google Play Store, Microsoft Store, Windows Defender. These are also integrated. Then you can this is also integrated Defender, Microsoft Defender, right? Then you have to manage, you can manage Windows devices, Mac OS, Android, iOS, iPad, Linux devices. You can manage these devices. So that's Intune architecture, guys. Now we have Intune license. Intune license. So it is not free product. You will have to pay for it. How much you have to pay? Around $8 per user per month. $8 for Intune license, for this license, Microsoft Intune license. $8 USD. $8 per month per user. If you have 100 user, then you will have to pay 800 US dollar, right? So either you take this standard license or you take this Microsoft 365 E5 or E3 license. These are like big license wherein Intune is already included. So in all these licenses, Intune is already included. So you can take any one of the licenses or you can take separate license, which we will discuss later on. Okay, so that's the license. Then after license, then we will see Intune Lab. Oh, Okay, so the in lab, Intune Lab. How you can set up your lab, Intune Lab? So you need to have a laptop or a desktop. So I think each one of you are using Windows computer. So you need a Windows 10 or 11 computer. Either it's a laptop or a desktop. Now on that computer, you need to have 8 GB RAM. And then you need to have quad core processor. You need to have quad core processor and 100 GB free hard disk space, right? That's the requirement you need to have on your computer. Windows 10 or 11, 8 GB RAM, quad core processor, and 100 GB free space. Also, you need to have a credit card or debit card. Okay, Visa or Master. Okay, if you have credit card, well and good, you will be able to create your Intune account properly, easily, I mean. Okay, so that's your lab requirement. So once you have created your Intune account, you can start setting up your lab. So on your computer, you will create a virtual machine. So that is going to be a Windows virtual machine, right? So this is going to be a Windows VM, either Windows 10 or Windows 11. Similarly, you can create one more computer here, and that's going to be Linux box. And one more computer you can create your as MacBook. Okay. And these are going to be virtual machine. All of them will be a virtual machine. Windows virtual machine, Windows 10 or Windows 11, Linux box, and MacBook. And all these three machines, we will enroll them to Intune. And we can control these devices through Intune. So we will be deploying policies, we'll be deploying applications, we'll be deploying updates and all to these devices. So from Intune, what all things you can do? Suppose there are like thousands and thousands of computers. Let's assume you have, like, in your organization, you have 10,000 computers. Now, 10,000 computers, some of them are Windows, some of them are Android, some of them are iOS, some of them are MacBook, some of them are Linux, right? So let's say 5,000 computers Windows, 2,000 Android, right? 1,000 iOS, um, then 500, 1,000 MacBook, and 1,000 Linux boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 10. Yeah, 10,000 devices total. Some of the devices are in US, some of the devices are in China, some of the devices are in Canada, some of the devices are in India, some of the devices are in UK, right? In multiple region. So you can enroll these devices into Intune. Okay. So you have like 10,000 devices. You can enroll them into Intune, all these 10,000 devices. And from Intune, you can deploy applications to these devices. You can deploy updates to these devices. You can deploy policies to these devices. You can deploy um, configuration profile, configuration profile. Then you can deploy compliance baseline, right? You can deploy PowerShell script, etc. So basically, you will have complete control on these devices. You can also wipe these devices, factory reset these devices. You can reset password of these devices. You can um, uh, restart these devices. Restart. Okay. You can uh, deploy policies to these devices, to block some of the applications, to unblock some of the applications. So there are various things which you can do from Intune. So you will have complete control of these devices through Intune portal. So we have discussed about architecture and lab. Now we are going to discuss about the time, the training time and the duration. So daily we will do the session at 8 a.m. India time, IST, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST, 1 hour, daily 1 hour, Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday. Duration is going to be for 30 days, 30 sessions, basically 30 hours. So we need 30 sessions to finish all the topics. Now, if you have not received the course content, I will share the course content with you. Um, Not this one, this is the outdated one. This is the course content, guys. Okay. Now you have various things which we will be doing, like introduction to MDM, info, right? Introduction to Intune Lab and all, Entra ID, line of business and all. Enroll Linux devices, Mac devices, iOS devices, Android devices, co-management, Windows Autopilot, patch integrate application from Patch My PC, right? So this course content is designed as per the certification and the day-to-day working, day-to-day work profile. So whatever that are needed during your day-to-day work profile, you will be able to do it after this training. So that's the course content, guys. Plus the exam. Now let's discuss about the exam. The MD 102 is the exam. If you would like to take exam after this training, you can take this exam. That is from Microsoft. You will have to score at least 700 out of 1000 to pass this exam. Okay. You can take this practice uh, assessment just to see yourself. Okay. Then it's going to cost you somewhere around 4,865 rupees plus taxes, I think. Yeah. So that's the cost of the exam, guys. Okay. So it's a 30-hour session. Exam after the training is MD 102. You need to score 700 out of 1000 to pass the exam. Okay. Now, if you guys are having any question, let me know. 9892 235 4331. Yes. Any question you guys have?
Kashif, if you are going to take a exam, so it shows it's mentioned like endpoint manager. So will it contain the only related to Intune or it will also contain related to SCCM questions? Because if I learn Intune, but I don't know about SCCM. So shall I take the exam?
It does not have anything related to SCCM. Okay.
Oh,
It has something related to Microsoft Intra, conditional access. Then it has some of the things from Microsoft Admin Center, the Microsoft 365,
oh,
and some of the things from Intune. So it is not purely Intune, but it is the closest one. Okay. So you have the exam curriculum somewhere. Um, practice assessment. Yeah, you see this one, Microsoft 365 Endpoint Administrator. You have Explore Endpoint Management, then Execute Device Enrollment. So this is purely Intune, right? Configure profile and use devices Intune. Examine application management Intune. Authenticate compliant Intune. Manage endpoint. Then you have uh, some of the things from um, admin portal, some of the things from Windows Defender, some of the things from Microsoft Entra ID. Everything is combined together.
oh.
Got it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So any other question from anyone? No question? Hmm?
Yes, sir, nothing.
Everyone has the lab requirement?
No.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this is my number, guys, 9892354331. So tomorrow we will start at 8 a.m. IST, India time. So if you guys are interested to continue from tomorrow, you need to send me a message on this number on WhatsApp that you are interested, you would like to continue from tomorrow, so that I will send you the enrollment and payment details. Okay. So you can start the session from tomorrow onwards. Okay, guys.
Okay, yes.
Any
Yeah.
Okay,
question
sir, sure.
before we wrap it up?
Yeah. If any queries, we will contact on above number.
Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye now. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.